Hello, Las Vegas, and welcome to Studio G, the magazine edition. Today we'll take a look at our top stories from earlier this week. Studio G Magazine starts right now.
We are broadcast students
in the School of Journalism and Media Studies at UNLV.
We are senior producers.
Live over the web, we're bringing news at noon.
In an all-student production, behind the scenes and in front of the screen.
Reporting, investigating, and covering news.
In the Valley, throughout the country, and around the world.
Today is Friday, and you're watching Studio G Magazine on UNLV TV, The Week in Review.
Hello and welcome to Studio G Magazine, The Week in Review. I'm Jamie Seymour. The Philippine Islands were devastated last weekend by Typhoon Haiyan, and officials say this may be the worst natural disaster the Philippines has ever seen. Reporter Farron Enos has more.
The Philippine Islands lay ravaged after Typhoon Haiyan hit, leaving countless bodies lining the streets and survivors begging for food and water. Officials are saying the death toll is close to 2,000 confirmed deaths, and the number is expected to skyrocket beyond an estimated 10,000 once rescuers are able to access the damaged cities. It looks like a war zone with houses destroyed, trees stripped bare, and flooding everywhere. Supplies are scarce, and the situation is growing so desperate that mobs are attacking supply trucks, and prisoners in the Tacloban City Jail are threatening a mass prison break. The cities are also low on medical supplies, and officials are worried of a possible disease outbreak. The U.S. government and the Marines are stepping in to help with whatever they can.
We're working hand in hand with the Philippines, both of their armed forces and with the national police, and we will help them in their need. We have airplanes standing by, we have logistics assets standing by. We're working closely with international relief organizations. We're working with the United States Agency for International Development, so there's a lot that we can do.
While there's plenty that the U.S. government can do for those suffering from this devastating disaster, there are many ways that you can get involved in helping the people of the Philippines. The American Red Cross has asked those looking to donate to mail a check to their local American Red Cross chapter with Philippine typhoons and flood in the memo line, or donate directly to the Philippine Red Cross at www.redcross.org.ph. They are also urging donators to be cautious when donating, since scammers are out in attempts to fool people with false donation organizations. For Studio G, I'm Farron Enos.
For those looking to donate directly to the Philippines Red Cross, that website was redcross.org.ph. Gunfire erupted near a Pennsylvania high school Wednesday afternoon. Shots rang out near Brashear High School shortly after the last bell rang. 3 students were injured in the gunfire. According to authorities, 6 people have been taken into custody for questioning, but no one has been charged yet. The motive of the shooting is not yet known, but with a string of recent shootings, including the Sparks Middle School tragedy, UNLV police offer advice as to what can possibly cause these shootings.
It basically comes back to these people, they feel a lot of times ostracized or outside of society, looked down upon by their peers, picked on, like that. So a lot of times they lash out in anger because of that.
The victims, including one who was grazed in the head, another hit in the neck and shoulder, and a third student struck in the leg and foot, were considered to have non-life-threatening injuries. However, according to a Pittsburgh police spokeswoman, the victims are not cooperating with police. As more updates become available on this story, we will be sure to let you know. By law, it's mandatory for healthcare providers and laboratories to notify the health district of any reportable diseases. That's how they found out about this particular case. From there, the following precautions were taken. Honey Love has more.
Hi, this is Coronado High School with an important message.
That is the message that Debbie Nelson heard on her voicemail after arriving home Tuesday evening. A person from Coronado High School had been diagnosed with tuberculosis, the same high school where her sophomore daughter attends.
I was like, what the heck? A little nervous, not sure who the person was.
Tuberculosis is a bacteria that usually attacks the lungs, but can also attack the kidney, spine, and brain. Spread through the air from person to person, the TB bacteria can be moderately contagious when a person with the disease coughs, speaks, sneezes, or sings, and the bacteria is inhaled by people nearby. Tuberculosis can be fatal if not treated properly. Dr. Joel Eisner, Chief Health Officer for the Southern Nevada Health District, confirms that the person in this case does have active tuberculosis, which means it is contagious.
This individual is on 4-drug therapy and is in isolation at this point.
Eisner says that after receiving the treatment, within 2 to 3 weeks, the individual will no longer be infectious and may return back to work or school, but will continue medication for many weeks ahead.
There are classroom members where this individual might have exposed other people that we will be contacting the class attenders and the parents of those people to identify them as being at higher risk and asking them to come in and be tested.
Signs and symptoms of TB include a bad cough that can last up to 3 weeks or longer, coughing up blood, chest pain, fever, and chills, which may resemble the flu or bronchitis. So Eisner says that it is important for healthcare providers to think TB when diagnosing patients.
I believe this is what happened to this individual as well, is that the individual went in to his or her doctor and was given an antibiotic that wasn't effective.
Nelson says she will be taking her whole family to get tested.
Just to be safe, because you just don't know, you don't know.
As a precautionary measure, we want to make you aware that an individual on our campus was diagnosed with tuberculosis.
The Southern Nevada Health District will not confirm whether the individual was a student or teacher or how they contracted the disease. However, they spoke with several students from Coronado High School who said that it was a female student and she had not been to school for several weeks. They also said that fellow classmates received a letter saying it is mandatory for them to be tested. After the break, we'll show you a new experiment going on UNLV's own campus. Stay tuned.
My name is James Grant.
King Louie here.
This is Jennifer.
Crystal May Maguerza.
I'm Savannah. Zoe here.
This is your boy Miles Lowe.
Christian FGY.
Kaylin Hype. And I'm Jay Luna.
My Mind's Music.
Gonzo Radio.
Combox Radio.
Join us for happy hour.
The Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Ill Vibe Theory.
On KUNV.
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 KUNV HD2.
91.5 The Rebel.
Broadcast on Revcast.com.
I think what a lot of people don't realize, we provide 1,300 hot meals a day through 3 of our kitchens. We have about 650 people sleeping in beds provided by the Salvation Army every night. We have 127,000 of people that we touch every year. It's huge, and people have no idea that we do more than have thrift stores and ring bells at Christmas.
Tadpole regeneration is happening right here on campus. Reporter China Green has more on the science.
Salamanders can grow a new tail following an injury, but humans can't. UNLV researcher Kelly Tsing wants to know why and is studying South African frogs to identify signals that lead to the repair of damaged or lost body parts.
My research group, we hope to uncover some of the really important signals which are important for initiating regeneration. So signals that tell the tissue, hey, you're missing a part, now you need to regrow. So once we can identify these signals, hopefully we can apply it to, for example, more complex models such as mammals and see if these signals can actually work.
To identify signals in the regenerative process, Tsing generates embryos that grow into tadpoles. She puts them to sleep, chops off their tails, and then studies the result of biochemical or bioelectrical manipulations.
Normally people think of genes or DNA as kind of being one of the signals, but it turns out bioelectrical signals such as ion currents can also play a role in this process.
Tsing says her research may lead to regenerative therapies for damaged or aging tissue in humans, but a lot of work needs to be done before that can happen.
The human body is very, very complex, so we're all working very hard to try to understand all the different signals that are available, and hopefully we can put together all our knowledge and try to identify therapies that might work in the future.
Undergraduate students who work with Tsing in the lab say the opportunity is challenging but rewarding.
You get something you can't get in the typical classroom. You know, you actually get to see biology happening in front of you rather than just like memorizing random terms.
And it's interesting because you feel like you're making a difference and you're learning things and you're discovering things.
Dr. Singh is amazing, actually. She teaches you how to be a scientist. Instead of answering your questions, she wants you to think about it. She wants you to learn how to get the process down so that way you will learn how to use it later for yourself.
Research is also a very important part of educating the students. For example, to do research and understanding how science actually occurs is a very important part for them when they want to go to medical school or, become a scientific researcher.
This is just with me, right?
For Studio G, I'm China Green.
To be a part of the research, contact Kelly Singh at kelly.singh@unlv.edu. UNLV hosted their annual law fair. The event provided an opportunity for pre-law students to meet and mingle with law school representatives and professionals. Reporter Tommy Laren gives us the scoop.
UNLV hosted their annual law fair last Friday in the Student Union Ballroom. The event, co-sponsored by UNLV Pre-Law, the Wilson Advising Center, and the Western Association of Pre-Law Advisors, allowed pre-law students to meet and network with their future law school advisors from around the nation. The law school representatives answered questions and gave advice to the future law students. Ohio State Law School Representative Skylar DeJong was impressed with UNLV students.
I've actually been really impressed with the students that I've met with, and I've been really impressed with how many people have attended the law fair today. So it's been really good to be here. It's been top notch, really. I mean, it's actually compared with some of the greater schools that I've visited.
UNLV pre-law student Katie Sears appreciated the networking opportunity.
This year I had more of a focus coming into it, certain questions I had, certain schools I wanted to visit. My leading school was William Boyd. I'd like to stay in Las Vegas. I actually got firsthand opportunity to speak with a representative and get all my questions, my list of questions answered. And then there were certain other schools I got to go to and just provide a lot of information, great insight on the whole process.
UNLV alum and current Marquette law student Gerard Garcico offered his advice to future law students.
It's nice to come back here to UNLV and really try to recruit students, not to just Marquette where I go to now, but just to the law school in general, because it is such a great experience, and I think everyone should at least give it a thought to, go to law school.
Event sponsors said this year's fair was the largest to date and yielded the highest turnout yet.
This is the biggest one we've had. The last one we did had 54 schools, and we got up to 79 this year. UNLV really stepped up last semester, and it's going to be a school that more people should come to, and then that was shown today.
The most visited table at the event was none other than UNLV's own Boyd Law School.
I think the most exciting thing about Boyd, in addition to being the only law school in the state, is that we are one of the finest law schools in all of the Southwest, in the Mountain West, I suppose I should say. It's a function of our size and the faculty that we have here. And we have a part-time evening program as well, which is really designed for people who are working full-time and don't want to stop in order to get a law degree. We have an excellent faculty, by the way, who's making all of this happen, but I think that's one of the huge strengths that we have as an institution.
UNLV pre-law students were able to set aside their GPAs and LSAT scores and allow their personalities to shine through. The verdict is in. The 2013 Law Fair was a success. For Studio G, I'm Tommy Laren.
UNLV's Boyd Law School ranked 68th out of 194 accredited law schools. When we come back, we will have the latest on a lawsuit between Las Vegas's two largest newspaper publications.
DECA promotes personal and professional development through competitive events, community involvement, and leadership development.
I joined DECA because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. So I got to meet people, network, and definitely work on my public speaking.
To join DECA, it's a very simple process. You have to pay a $25 membership fee. You can either come to our next meeting, our website, which is unlvdeca.co.vu.
We're open to all majors who are interested in business, finance, or hospitality-related fields.
Filed a first-degree murder charge against Sarah Chavez. Chavez was involved in a bar fight Tuesday night at the Champagne Bar on Maryland Parkway, not far from UNLV. The fight led to the murder of Misty Madera. Witnesses told police that the dispute started after Madera tripped Chavez's boyfriend. After a verbal confrontation between the two, it quickly turned physical. The coroner said that Madera died from a stab to the chest and also had cuts in her upper arms. The Las Vegas Sun's publisher and son of its founder, Brian Greenspun, is suing Stevens Media and the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Reporter Jordan Harrison has more.
The Greenspun family has struck a deal with the Las Vegas Review-Journal that will result in the end of the Las Vegas Sun, but Brian Greenspun has filed a lawsuit in the hopes of blocking the deal.
The Sun, as we know it as a section of the RJ, will go away, but other members of the Greenspun family, Brian's siblings, have said they want the Sun to stick around in some form, if nothing else, just as an online source of news.
The advantage of having two different newspapers is that you get two voices with completely different opinions.
I think one important thing is the editorial voice. The Review-Journal bills itself as a libertarian newspaper. They're very conservative, and the Sun traditionally has been a more liberal newspaper. So you have two voices with two very different opinions.
Brian Greenspun wants everyone to know that the case isn't between him and his siblings because anyone could have filed the lawsuit. But it's about one newspaper trying to form a monopoly by buying out its competitor.
The fact that I filed it, and my name is Greenspun, and I'm involved at the Las Vegas Sun, allows everybody to think of in this soap opera way that, gee, it must be the whole family dynamic and all that other kind of stuff. The question would be, can the Review-Journal own the Las Vegas Sun?
Brian Greenspun doesn't blame the Review-Journal for wanting to get rid of its competition because of how many people like to read the Sun.
If you look at the Sun pages and you look at the Review-Journal, they're very, very different. In fact, if you look at reader surveys, other than the front section of the Review-Journal, the readers will tell you they look at the Las Vegas Sun next, right behind the front section of the journal.
Very few cities benefit from having two different newspapers.
If you've been wronged, you got nowhere else to go. If you got a story that the one paper got wrong, you got a chance to go to the other paper and get the story right. There are very few cities that have that wonderful opportunity. We have it here, and we've had it for years and years and years and years. Why give it away without a fight?
Brian Greenspun doesn't believe that the newspaper industry is going to die anytime soon, which is why he hopes the courts will side with him. For Studio G, I'm Jordan Harrison.
Anyone from the public may join the case. From newspapers to technology, games and techies will be excited for the new addition to the Fashion Show Mall. Microsoft hosted the grand opening of a new retail store Wednesday, just in time for Christmas shopping. They'll have the new Xbox One along with all of the other Microsoft products. This is the first Microsoft store to open in the Las Vegas market. We'll be right back with more Studio G.
This is your house too. Located on the campus of UNLV on Brussels Street sits Housel House, the Center for Social Justice. A place where everyone can participate, explore cultural identity, share different experiences, and learn leadership skills. No judgments. You are accepted, you are important, and you are welcomed.
Stand up, speak out, and change the world.
My name is James Grant.
King Louie here.
This is Jennifer.
Crystal May Maguerza.
I'm Savannah. Zoe here.
This is your boy Miles Lowe.
Christian FGY.
Kaylin Hype.
And I'm Jay Luna.
My Mind's Music.
Gonzo Radio.
Combox Radio.
Join us for Happy Hour.
The Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Ill Vibe Theory.
On KUNV.
KUNV. KUNV.
KUNV HD2.
91.5 The Rebel.
Broadcast on revcast.com.
It is positive when UNLV faculty make an impact on more than just their university. Reporter Jordan Hardy has more.
The UNLV Outside Activity Request Form is part of the UNLV Conflict of Interest and Compensated Outside Services Policy, which has been in effect at UNLV since 2008, but this year it's causing a buzz among UNLV faculty. In summer of 2011, the Department of Health and Human Services changed the federal guidelines for the Conflict of Interest Policy, and the regulations were changed at UNLV in 2012 because the NSHE requirements and the federal government requirements did not match up for the form. The system is not concerned about how much money people are making, they're more concerned about conflict of commitment. If you are a faculty member, you are allowed to do 1 day or equivalent of consulting per week. And if you are on an administrative contract, you need to take annual labor furlough to do the consulting activity. Where the difference comes in is if you are federally funded. For instance, if you are funded by the National Institute for Health, you can only get up to $5,000 for outside work. Office of Research and Integrity Executive Director Lori Olfeson summarizes the process.
That you need to get approval from your supervisor before you do any outside compensated activity, and you're supposed to have that approval 10 days in advance. It's been like that since 2008.
But will the form really stop conflict of interest?
This is a filter that may catch the occasional conflict, but it's going to just take up a lot of administration and faculty time.
Olafson explains the provost's office goal of this form.
I think what the provost's office is trying to do is have the supervisors, the chairs, exercise some judgment. So if you have a part-time faculty member, should they be held to the 1 day per week? Probably not. But if they're missing their classes to go and do consulting, then it's a problem.
I'm in the position now, actually, of having been asked to write an article. I have to fill out this form and then wait 10 days for it to be approved before I can do it. That's one problem. If you're asked to write an op-ed that's coming out tomorrow, you can't really go through that.
At the end of each school year, the provost's office has to send a report to the system office with the number of requests for outside work. And until then, Olafson says,
is that, it's fine if you don't have the 10 days. Just submit it as soon as you can.
For Studio G, I'm Jordan Hardy.
If you have any questions regarding the form, you can contact the Office of Research Integrity at lori.olafson@unlv.edu. It's that time of year again where stores are filled with holiday decor, and with the holidays right around the corner, retail and department stores are hiring for the season. Reporter Elena Ledbetter brings us more.
'Tis the season for retailers and department stores to hire new seasonal employees, but for some, taking a seasonal job is far more meaningful than just making an extra buck.
When I was a kid, my grandmother would come here first, like whenever she wanted anything, especially holidays, because she was the one that would be running around in her wheelchair, ironically enough, trying to decorate before everybody else.
Brittany Banks, a Target seasonal employee, chose to work at Target during the holidays because it reminds her of her grandmother. According to a new employment report, stores nationwide such as Target, Kohl's, Macy's, Walmart, and others plan to hire about 700,000 employees collectively between October and December. With that amount of new employees, Target store team leader Chris Lambiras sees this time of year as a boost in consumer confidence and will help Nevada's high unemployment rate and poor economy.
So all the stores have the hiring decals. It's online through social media. So I think as people see that, oh wow, Target's hiring, they're doing well, it kind of puts more money back into the economy, which could help everyone win. So.
During this time of year, Target's customers increase by 30 to 50%, so Lambiras hired 60 seasonal employees at his Target location and found schedules that fit best for his team members.
Oftentimes you'll see people hire and, well, you have to work this shift, you have to work that, and we really try to work with the team members to find what works for them while still satisfying the business need.
As for Banks, she encourages all who love the holidays to take a job during the holiday season.
All the kids that don't think they need a seasonal job or they think it's overrated, it's like, I'd rather stay at home. It's like, I would rather them take the chance and get something to learn instead of sitting there not knowing what to do.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Elena Ledbetter.
Holiday hiring will end towards the end of November, right before Black Friday. If you are interested in working for Target, you can drop into any store to apply or go online at target.com/careers. When we return from the break, we'll take a drink of some of Nevada's history.
Your community's farmers market. Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
Way out in the land of the western sun, where the wind blows wild and free, there's a lovely spot, just the only one that means home sweet home to me. Home means Nevada, home means the hills, home means the sage and the pine, right in the heart of the golden west. Home means Nevada to me.
People ask me, why did you start a winery out here in the middle of the desert?
born, we are going to visit Pahrump, Nevada, where I sat down with Jack Sanders of Sanders Family Winery as he tells us about the history of Nevada's wine country.
When I first came to Nevada, I came here in 1985. We started construction of the very first winery in 1988, and we opened on St. Patrick's Day of 1990.
However, his winery cannot take the full credit in starting the first wineries of Nevada.
Back in pre-Prohibition, there was a fellow here in Pahrump by the name of Frank Pop Buell. Actually started the very first winery in the state of Nevada. And this would have been back in the late 1915, 1920, somewhere around there.
Who would have thought back then that establishing a winery in the middle of the desert would be so successful?
Governor Bryan, who then became our senator, was the governor at the time, and Bob Miller was his lieutenant governor. When Bryan decided to run for the Senate, Bob Miller automatically took over and became the governor. Well, that was just about the time of our 125th birthday. Governor Miller asked if we consider putting the 125th birthday seal on our wines, which we did. And one of the events that we are going to do is we are going to do another commemorative bottle of wine for the 150th birthday celebration of the state of Nevada.
If you haven't taken a trip to Sanders Family Winery, then you should put it on your list of places to visit in Nevada.
The moment we decided to build a winery, we knew it would be successful. When you come into our property and you drive up the 300-foot driveway with the Italian Tuscan provincial building, it is the most romantic, most beautiful place you've ever been in your life.
So that goes to show that Pahrump is Nevada's wine country. Not only is Sanders Family Wine important to the community, but also to Nevada's history. For Studio G, I'm Katie McLean. Cheers!
Salud!
Make sure you tune in next week to celebrate more of Nevada's history. Staying healthy is a challenge with a busy schedule. Juicing is just one of the many popular diets for people on the go. Reporter Christina Davies gives us more.
Easy. Weight loss.
Diving are words you hear when talking about juicing.
So, what is juicing?
Juicing is putting fruits and vegetables through a machine to extract the fibrous part of the fruit and vegetable, and all you are left over is with the juice and some vitamins and minerals.
People start to juice for many reasons. Some include health purposes and weight loss.
Maybe if they're not getting anything in their diet now, it's a really quick and easy way to start your day off with a juice.
There are many downsides to replacing your meals with juices.
If you use too much fruit, you can get a really big source of sugar because what you're left with is the sugar component of the fruit. So you want to try to stick with more vegetables and maybe add 1 or 2 fruits just to sweeten up the juice.
When juicing, you receive no fiber, which can cause health problems.
Fiber is actually really healthy for your digestive system because up to 80% of your immune cells are found in your GI tract, and so having that fiber keeps your GI system healthy, and that keeps your immune system more resilient.
Why is juicing so popular now? Christina Vergara says,
I think it's more like a celebrity type thing. There's all types of different fad diets that become popular, and so right now it's popular to do these juice cleanses.
If you are interested in juicing, do your research or consult an expert and squeeze out all the information you can. For Studio G, I'm Christina Davies.
If you are interested in nutrition, UNLV's Department of Kinesiology and Nutrition Sciences offers free nutrition education workshops to help you live a healthier lifestyle. That's all the reviews we have for you on this Friday edition of Studio G. I'm Jamie Seymour. Have a great weekend, Rebels.